Greetings and welcome back to the Strangelands server. Last week I stopped, well, not quite as far to be honest, but yeah, I stopped building here and yeah, today, oh man, totally over the place. Although I had 3 cups of coffee, so normally I should be okay-ish by now. Anyways, yeah, today I want to continue building on the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, as well as continue my, my storytelling on my business trip, now, was it 2 or even 3 weeks ago? There goes the time. Yeah, basically my business trip to Italy and England. So last week I told you everything about England and how I met the awesome guys of the Tuxedo server. So this week I want to continue from where I left off, which is pretty much my trip from Italy, no, not Italy, from Great Britain to Italy, so from Birmingham to Trieste. And yeah, so where did I actually leave off? So, yeah, I went to the Birmingham airport, and right there I took a plane to Munich, because my co-worker, who started from Germany, would go via Munich as well. And the not our goal. The airport we needed to go to was the Trieste airport, which is a very small regional airport in northern Italy, quite close to the Slovenian border. So yeah, that's where we needed to go, and there was no direct flight, neither from Düsseldorf, which is the nearest airport in the region where I live in, or nor air from Birmingham. And so we were lucky we found a connection via Munich, which is a quite big airport in southern Germany. And so we were able to meet before we actually went to Trieste. And which was a little bit better for me as well, because I would need a transfer from the Trieste airport to the hotel, and in the morning, of course, to the company where we were going to. So, unfortunately, my co-worker was struck by a strike from the German Lufthansa, which is going on for quite a while now. So, I think, how long has it been going on? For months and months, I would say. Pretty much because the pilots do want to have more money, or not more money. Actually, it has something to do with the retirement. So pilots can retire at the age of, I think, 50. And the Lufthansa doesn't want that anymore, for whatever reason. I don't know. My opinion on that is a pilot who has to get his own piloting license, which cost about, well, let's say 150,000 euros, if that's enough, and he has to pay it all by himself. So he has to get a bank loan for that, or, I don't know, whore himself or whatever, to be actually able to even get a license. And even then, it's not said he will be employed by any airline too soon. I think then, of course, he can't fly a plane by himself right from the get-go, so he has to be a co-pilot for some time. And yeah, he has to pay back his loan, obviously, and get enough money to sustain himself. And since you have to learn quite a lot being a pilot, yeah, I think it's alright. They get a whole bunch of money. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. And the early retirement and the fact that Lufthansa and other airlines as well pay for that is, in my opinion, it's alright, because I don't really think a person of 65, sorry, if any elderly people are watching, I'm not against you in any way, but yeah, I think it's a good thing they can retire a little bit earlier. Yeah, I don't know. So it's their right to fight for that, and so it's alright. Anyways, that strike was going on, so my coworker has to get another flight, but it was all fine and dandy. He got to Munich in time, so he didn't need to change a thing. And yeah, I had no problems whatsoever to get to Munich, and so everything worked out in the end, I guess. What did I want to say? Yeah, so we met in Munich in the early afternoon, and then took our plane to Trieste. And it turned out Trieste is a very small airport. It's just a regional airport, and you don't even have to show your ID when you want to go there, because it's in the European Union, and because of that, there are no big travel restrictions if you are a European Union citizen. So yeah, that was quite cool. So from there we took a taxi, went to the hotel, and yeah, we relaxed a bit, and then we start because the actual not date, the actual tests for the motors on the next day, which was the reason why we came. Yeah, they were only on the next day, so the first day was just to get there, to get there safe, of course. And yeah, so we went to explore the town of Trieste, or it was a small town called Monfalcone. A bit. We found a lovely Italian restaurant which made a gorgeous pizza. Oh man, that pizza was so delicious. Yeah. That's what you should get when you are in Italy. Get a real Italian pizza. But anyways, yeah, that was what we did on the first evening. So on the next day we went to the company. There was a salesman from Germany, from the company where we ordered the motors, who met us there, but to be honest, he didn't do shit to help us there. He had other customers over as well from, I think it was Germany. I have no idea, to be honest, but yeah, he had other customers, and because we already had ordered the motor, so he already had money, had made money from that. Yeah, we were all by ourselves over there with all the tests, and yeah, after he helped us get into the company, he left, and never to be seen again. No, in the evening we saw him again for a very brief, I don't know. Yeah, but other than that, I don't know. He was, I don't know, like a used car salesman, I would say. Was very friendly and whatnot, but it didn't appeal to me as an honest being friendly, just like a, I want your money, so I'm friendly to you. Anyways, yeah, so the tests then with the motor, there were several tests which, yeah, where I don't know the names because I'm not an electrician. I was just there to help my colleague a bit with translating and getting along with the people, which were quite easy because even though most of the people working there couldn't speak any English, they tried their best to explain us everything, and I find that amazing. Really, they were very friendly, and so working with them for that day was just cool. No problems whatsoever, and yeah, this is how things are supposed to be when you are on a trip like that. Yeah, so the first day we were at the company for about, I think, 12 hours for all the tests to witness. And yeah, it was a very busy and stressful day, very tiring as well. But in the end, yeah, it was very interesting. I could see a lot of things, which have, of the tests, of course. I could witness these things, which is a cool thing, and so yeah, that day was quite successful, I would say. So, I need to look at the picture again, although, you know what, I'm building now freely, and let's see how I can do. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, first day was quite good, and on the second evening we went to a bar again, had a few drinks. Maybe 1 or 2 drinks too much. It was a bit late, but oh well. It was alright. I got back safely, so that's okay, I guess. Yeah, but apart from that, what did I want to say? Boop. Yeah, so that was the second day. So then we went to bed, of course, because we had some other tests going on the next day. And yeah, because there was no real rush, we slept a bit, or we got up a little bit later, and yeah, everything was fine and dandy. We went to breakfast, everything okay. But then, yeah, when I went down to the lobby to check out and with all my things and ready to go to the company again for the missing tests, my coworker was already downstairs at the lobby, and he said, well, our flights got cancelled because the, what you call it, the Italian flight, oh man, my friend will kill me. You remember Christoph, who has a flight simulator? He would kill me if I say something wrong. No, yeah, the flight supervisors, or yeah, I don't know the proper word right now. Sorry for that. Yeah, Christoph, you can kill me now. Okay, no, but the people who are in charge of telling the planes where to go, they were on strike as well in Italy. So there were no flight going outside any Italian airport that day. You heard right. No flight at all. So, yeah, we were a little bit baffled because we didn't hear a thing about that before. And, yeah, we wanted to get home, of course. So we were a little bit on the side, yeah, what should we do now? And yeah, so hey, there we go. We then found our co-workers in Germany who or our co-worker who was in contact with the company's travel agency, and to get us another flight to actually get away from Italy. We were going via Munich again, so there should have been some possibility to get back, but yeah, they tried really everything to find us a flight going back there, but they found none, because no airport in Italy would let any planes start whatsoever. So we were pretty much screwed. And yeah, we didn't like that, of course. I mean, who would like such a thing? But yeah, so it was going back and forth what we should do. And our company's travel agency came to the wonderful idea, well, you could rent a car and go to Zagreb, where you can get a plane going to Düsseldorf right away. To those of you who don't know the map of Europe, actually I must confess I didn't know where Zagreb was on the card. I knew it was the Croatian capital, but that was all. So I looked on the map on Google Maps because we had internet access, fortunately. And yeah, Zagreb is about 500 kilometers, so about 380-ish or 360-ish miles away from Trieste. And you would have to drive through Italy, Slovenia and Croatia to get there. And that was pretty much a no-go for us because we didn't know anything about Slovenia or Croatia. We didn't know the language. And I don't know, there were some security-related second thoughts by us as well, so we said, isn't there another possibility? Isn't there a train going there? Can you check again, please? So they checked again. There was a train, fortunately. But that train would have taken 9 hours to get to Munich. And we were already too late for that train anyways. And to get to Düsseldorf, the train would have taken approximately 18 hours, and we would have needed to change the train 5 times. And so that was not really an option too. So what we decided to do was, well, let's try and get a car and try going to Munich. So we drove to the company again, very briefly to at least witness a few more tests before we had to go. And after that we were going to go to Trieste airport and rent a car to Munich. We knew it would that it might be difficult to get one, but it turned out to be a little bit more difficult than we anticipated. Because when we got to Trieste airport, of course the airport was empty because, well, the flight supervisors were on strike, so nobody would be going anywhere and nobody would need a car. There were 12 counters for different car rentals, such as Avis, Hertz, Europcar, Sixt, and a few others. Quite a few international ones, but only the counters from, which was it, Sixt and Hertz were even manned with people, and the others were, well, empty. They were open but empty. Nobody in there. So we were screwed again because we couldn't rent a car. Because Sixt, oh, you want a car? No problem. What? You want to go to Munich with that and leave the car in Munich? Go to hell. Well, not like that, but yeah, pretty much what we thought. So the Hertz guy didn't have any cars at all were already rented. So we phoned with our co-worker from Germany again, and she was able to reserve a car at 3 o'clock. When we got to Trieste airport, it was 12:30 a.m., so nearly 1 in the afternoon. We decided to stay there and wait. Maybe one of the other car guys would come back, and fortunately the lady who was running the Avis counter, where our co-worker managed to reserve a car for us anyways, she came back at around 1 p.m. and so we asked her here we got this reservation for 3 o'clock. Can you get us another one, or can you get us that one right away? Because we wanted to try to go to Munich, and the co-worker from Germany had already booked the car to Düsseldorf. Well, we would have needed 12 or 13 hours straight with the car, going from Trieste directly to Düsseldorf, without any traffic jams, that is. Yeah, so the lady said, well, no problem, I will get you the car right away. So it was then 1:15 when we had done everything. There was a slight problem because my co-worker forgot his driving license at home, because, well, he didn't think he would have to drive a car in Italy. Yeah, but anyway, he had left it at home, so I had to actually rent the car, or my name was standing behind it. So I was the one who would have to drive the car through Italy. So that was how things were going. It was, I think, 1:30 when we actually started at Trieste Airport. It was a Renault Captur, a pseudo SUV sort of car. It was alright. It was a 1.5 liter diesel without turbo, but powerful enough to get us over the Alps. And yeah, so I drove through Italy, through the Italian Alps, and through a big part of the Austrian Alps as well, because our route went through Italy, through Austria near Salzburg, and then to Munich. So in the middle of Austria we swapped, so my co-worker got to drive, because I was getting a little bit tired, because driving through the Alps is, let's say, challenging. Very narrow streets, not only narrow streets, but a lot of narrow streets, and yeah, that was interesting, to say the least. And you would have to be very cautious all the time, and so yeah, that was an interesting experience, let's say it like that. Yeah, so my coworker got to drive, so I could rest a little bit, and yeah, so he drove the rest of the way to Munich, and it was quite okay. And guess what? We made it in time! Fortunately. We were afraid we wouldn't make it in time and would have to drive drive all the way to Düsseldorf, which would have been a hell of a trip. So we were very fortunate that we didn't need to do that, and yeah, we made it in time. Then we gave the car back to Avis, to the Avis counter, and yeah, everything, or maybe not everything, but most things were fine and dandy, and we could board the plane. We even had a little bit of time left, so we could just relax a bit at the airport, get a little bit to eat, to drink, things like that. And yeah, so then we got our plane, a Air Berlin plane, an Airbus, and got our flight to Düsseldorf. We arrived there at, I think it was 10:30 p.m. Yeah, must have been around that time. And yeah, my co-worker was kind enough to take me with him, with his car, because otherwise I would have needed to go via train back home. And so I finally arrived home at around 11:30. So we started at 7:30 in the morning, and we finished, or I finished the journey at 11:30 in the evening. My co-worker, nonetheless, he had to go another 100 kilometers because he lives quite a distant way away from his actual workplace. He has a 100-kilometer drive each morning, which I find quite amazing. But nonetheless, he made it as well, and we were very happy that we were able to get some sleep after all, after this hell of a trip. And that we made it back in one piece without being stranded in Italy. Yeah, so that was basically my whole trip to England and Italy. It was very interesting to go there, and I would go back to England every time, but to Italy, well, I don't know. It was alright. The company was very interesting, where they built the motors, but I don't know. I wouldn't say I want to go there again, by all means. England, every time I want to go back there, by all means, yes, but, well, Italy, not so much. Anyways, yeah, that was my trip in a whole week of traveling for my company, which is a new thing to me. But yeah, quite interesting, as I said, and there might be another trip to England in the near future, because we didn't get to see everything, like I said last week. But yeah, that was pretty much everything I had to say. Now, I got some more dark oak wood, so I can continue the second floor right here. The interior I have to make a little bit prettier, of course. I think I will connect these bars everywhere. But for today, I think the whole explaining took quite some time. So let me look how the episode time is, and get back to you right away. Well, 27 minutes already, and there's Dr. Jamie! Hey O'Neill! Recording. Say hi to the people. Yeah, Neil is back. I like Neil. Didn't get to meet him, but maybe in the future. And he says hi, people. Neil is such a cool guy. I like him. Neil is just very nice guy, and yeah. Okay. There we go. So, I think I can make a few minutes more, but I will do this in a time lapse. Maybe I'll talk a bit to Neil as well. Not really off camera because you can see it. But yeah, the rest of this will be a time lapse, at least for the raw building. And I think next time we can start with the interior then. So I will see you after this time lapse, and you get to hear a nice piece of music like always. So see you in a few minutes. Okay, guys, we have a wild Dr. Jamie visiting. So as you can see, I more or less finished the second store, or the second level of the church, and I think I will be making a third, depending on how much space I got. Another story, maybe, depending on how it looks when I put the roof on the second. Okay, yeah, I've put a few torches around. I know Fixer doesn't like them because he is much better at passive lighting and everything else, but this is a wooden building, and I don't know, the torches give it a somewhat more rough and structured look, in my opinion. The sea lanterns give a more modern look, and I'm not going for a modern look here. Maybe. Yeah, I asked Neil if he would be participating in the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and yeah, he said yes, so we'll see. So maybe at the opening ceremony we have a special guest. So go about building it. I got a picture. Okay, oh, hello, Mr. Zombie. And he left an iron sword, which is pretty badly damaged, but oh well. Yeah, but I think I will stop the episode right here. Because, yeah, a lot of time has already passed, and I think that will be enough for the day. So, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and my second part of the business trip, please leave a rating, as it always helps me out. And if you want to see more of my videos, maybe some other series, check out my channel and you will find everything there. And if you don't want to miss an episode again, then hit the little subscribe button, and that will pretty much happen. So, I hope to see you next time. So, until then, yours faithfully, the Pastafarian.